Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a
Hello,
red
Trabant.
Hello, Tito.
Guess who is still around?
Oh, it's impossible.
Well, not only is it possible, but 4 years later, here we have Henry Kissinger, still, alive and well at 100 years of age.
Alive and kicking. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Wow. Why does it's like a joke? Breaking
Yeah.
news. World mourns this diplomat Henry Kissinger
Dark,
4 years ago,
dark,
96,
dark
found
humor.
alive.
Yes.
What is the joke about this meme?
Well, we have to think about who Henry Kissinger was, and what he did or what he helped to do during his time.
Yeah. So long story short, he was a German-born of Jewish descent, whose family ran from Nazi Germany, from the Nazis, and he found a new home in America, and eventually he became a U.S. Secretary of State and national advisor.
Yeah, he was the National Security Advisor. So,
National
as a
Security.
Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor, he helped, or perhaps was the most instrumental player in formulating U.S. Foreign politics under Presidents Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford during their administrations. So in the early 1970s.
Right. So he was so-called a real politician, which means he was making decisions according to facts and current circumstances, and not only the main ideology of the state,
Right.
which is kind of also excuse for making lots of, I would say, not very.
Let's say not very nice decisions. We could say
Yeah,
that.
not very nice decision. So let me just read, because many
Yeah,
people
go
consider
ahead.
him a war criminal, and some people say he should be charged of war crimes. So why do they say that? In his first 2 years in office, Henry Kissinger helped Richard Nixon sabotage Vietnamese peace talks for his own political gain, then expanded the war into Laos and Cambodia, and
And
which caused
he
million people.
advocated the bombings there. Bombay
Yeah,
almost anything that moves. So that's
yeah,
horrible.
yeah. I think they dropped like 500,000 tons of bombs in like 4 or 5 years. I mean, like a huge amount, right?
Yeah.
Then 1971, Kissinger backed Pakistan in its war against Bangladesh, despite evidence of massacre and rape.
Yeah.
In 73, he orchestrated a military coup against the democratically elected
This is the Allende regime in Chile.
Allende regime in Chile, installing instead the violently oppressive Pinochet dictatorship.
Yeah.
Wow! In 75,
Oh, what a quick succession of events. Yeah. Sorry. Go
Yeah.
on. There's more.
Terrible.
Okay.
terrible account. I mean, of his wrongdoings. I mean, terrible decisions. Supported President Suharto of Indonesia, who was a despot, responsible for mass killing of hundreds of thousands, in a deadly conquest of East Timor.
And that situation has been haunting Asia since then. Maybe before
Kissinger
as well, but
proposed intervention of Cyprus, summoned up his philosophy best. The illegal we can do immediately. The unconstitutional takes a little longer.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, because in the U.S. you kind of have to follow the Constitution, but you can find some ways
Not
around it.
always, yeah. There is a way around it.
Yeah. So, but it takes a little while. God, yeah.
So why is so venerated as the great, the best foreign minister of all times of any country?
Well, I'll tell you what, he is certainly very much liked in China because he was the instrumental player as Nixon's Secretary of State and his main political advisor in opening up relations with the PRC. Right? Remember when Nixon was on visiting Pakistan? In fact, in I think it was in July in 1971, Kissinger pretended he was sick, or the official excuse was that he was sick. But what he did instead was he flew to China to pave way for an official visit by President Nixon, which happened in 1972.
All right. I wonder whose idea was it? Who initiated this meeting? But probably we'll never know.
Yeah, it's a good question because we'll get to it. But either this was a great idea on the part of the United States because China was having border conflicts with the Soviet Union at that time. Yeah. And China, was very happy to oblige. Or somebody from the Chinese side might have suggested it. But I think the general explanation is that this was a policy that someone in the U.S. came up with. Might have been Henry Kissinger.
All right. Or maybe they were trying to save face after the failure in Vietnam.
That's also another possibility. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see let's see how it went down. Right here we see a video from the Associated Press of one of the meetings. Let's take a look.
So Kissinger is arriving in Beijing, right?
Yeah. See, they're coming on the Chinese state limousines in the afternoon. And here is Mao Zedong Jushi.
Oh no. Mao Zedong is very old already.
Henry Kissinger, Bosche. You can see there will be again. Smile for the camera. Look at that.
Look at Mao Zedong's teeth. Oh
God. I don't know if he does have teeth at this point. It's kind of hard to
terrible,
figure
disgusting.
Out. But he used to say that tiger does not brush its teeth either. But
he was a tiger.
Let's look at let's forward 50 years into the future. Ta-da! What do we have here? Let's see.
So on the left there is a zombie Kissinger. On the right we have a new Mao Zedong.
Xi Jinping says it's been 3 years since our last meeting, so he's been meeting people in China, or coming to China, more frequently.
This has been in China 100 times.
Let's see it.
100 times. So it's like every year at least twice or 3 times he travels to
Yeah,
China.
it sounds like that. And there is an obligatory, quote.
Yeah.
An obligatory Chengyu.
Oh yeah, now it says that. More than 100 times you've been here. Special meaning.
So 200. How nice.
Right. And
So
yeah,
this is when he
Kissinger-
first came there, in 71, in July of that year. Right here.
So by the way, it was during the time when Xi Jinping's family was purged. And Xi Jinping had to work in the countryside because his father was purged from the party.
Yeah.
And Xi Jinping still remembers how great times they were. Not for him, he suffered, his whole family suffered during this time, but you know.
So he said the Chinese people never forget their old friends, and it seemed like they're trying to bring their old friends, or people who they have a fond relationship with, like Bill Gates and Kissinger.
Oh yeah, they are bringing their old friends
Back to China.
Shanghai to
Try to
show the
smooth things over, yeah, to show the world that we still have friends, right?
yeah, exactly. They are showing that they still have friends, and they are the reasonable ones. They want to resume their friendship and their
Yes.
ties, and the they don't want to decouple or de-risk. Now they are saying that de-risking means the same thing like decoupling because they don't like
Really?
either of it.
Oh,
Yeah, they are saying that it's the same.
Wow.
They are telling their own people, don't get fooled. It means the same thing.
Well,
They are
let's
lying
see.
to you. Yeah, Chinese people will remember it forever. It reminds me, there was a comment, a Chinese comment on Douyin that some people were surprised that Kissinger is still alive. Because as little kids they learned about him. They can't believe he's still alive.
Be able to visit China,
Yeah.
and it is
I think when he dies, they should put him next to Mao
courteous of
Zedong.
you
They should embalm him
to arrange
and put him next to him. And they can charge more money,
They arranged the meeting in the same building of the state
Oh.
guest house where they've had it 52 years ago.
the meeting
And Xi Jinping's reminds to Kissinger that it's the
Of
same
the state
room
guest
in case
house.
Kissinger already forgot.
where my first
No,
meeting with a Chinese
He remembers. He's still got it.
place.
Yes.
That the relations between our two countries would be central to the peace
Yeah, so
in the world.
interesting. China
And
is
to the
saying how they want
progress
to resume
of
the
our
ties
society.
and how they want to talk.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Kissinger also met Chinese Minister of Defense Li Shangfu, while Li Shangfu refused last time in Singapore to meet Lloyd Austin,
Okay.
American Minister of Defense. So they are refusing to meet these people. They are refusing to resume their hotlines. To
Official communication, right? Because
Official
remember,
communication.
Henry Kissinger is in China, as a private guest. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is not official communication. This is important to keep in mind. It's like China would like to improve the official communication, but at the same time, they want U.S. to do that. They're saying like, oh, if the United States, would just call us, and so it's a little bit hypocritical, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Very
if we look at the events over 50 years ago, I mean, this was Richard Nixon's shiny moment. Yeah. And this is
Yes.
how he is remembered in China. Yeah. Not for the Watergate scandal or for his policies in Vietnam, but for helping to establish.
It's not a coincidence that the people that are seen as crooks in the West are seen as heroes and friends in China.
Interesting, yeah.
Because and it's not a coincidence that many dictators love Kissinger. So it means that Kissinger did something for them. It wasn't a win-win
It's a good point. Yeah.
operation. Yeah.
No, I mean, this is why Nixon is fondly remembered in China. This was part of the so-called ping pong diplomacy, right? When ping pong teams would meet first and sort of interact together too. And I guess this was used to, kind of show that, hey, we can have good relations between our two countries, right?
Yeah.
And here is Nixon going to Peking for peace, and you can see Henry Kissinger sort of steering the boat in
Yes.
the direction of Beijing. Yeah,
Oh.
So a little funny.
Yeah.
This one of my favorite cartoons was this one, and this goes to show that this happened really at the time when there were border conflicts with the USSR. There was some fighting going on on the border between northern China and the USSR, and here Nixon is smiling. The comment I've seen was, I don't know what the rules are, but it's going to be an interesting
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Kissinger also met Brezhnev. I mean, he was playing also.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
game. He met every dictator all around the world. Uh, but eventually he came to the conclusion that they should start, their cooperation with China. And China, why did China welcome this offer? Because until then, America was standing strongly behind Taiwan. And China wasn't even a member of the United Nations.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's the main point. They wanted, to be seen as the representative Chinese government, and also by now, I think they were a little bit worried about confrontation with the USSR, to see,
Yeah.
what will, if there's some border fighting, if there was some border fighting, what could happen in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. In
So,
1970,
they're very happy to
Nixon
do
and
it.
Kissinger promised leader Chiang Ching-kuo, a leader in Taiwan, they would never abandon Taiwan. Make any compromises with Mao Zedong. October 71.
Things change very quickly.
Yes.
Right.
Joe Enlai demanded the United States recognize that Taiwan was a legitimate part of China. Kissinger gave way by promising to pull U.S. forces out of Taiwan, and he did.
Yes, that
He did.
that
First he
did
pulled
happen. Yeah.
2/3 out of them, and after they successfully pulled out of Vietnam, also the other third. So they pulled troops out of Taiwan. They kicked Taiwan out of the United Nations. They admitted China in the United Nations, and they came up with this one country, two systems policy. But
No, I don't know if that was at that time, but I understand what you mean. Yeah, because these are policies, that China has offered to Taiwan as well. You can come join us, just like Hong Kong or Macau did, and we will leave you. We will let you have your own administration and whatnot. It's like it works as a joke, but maybe not so much in reality.
yeah.
They're obviously
Another-
worried about interference.
Another outcome of this formalization of relationships between America and China was that China attacked Vietnam in 1979, and then actually full normalization of relations happened after China taught Vietnam a lesson. 1979.
You could look at it both ways. Who taught who a lesson? Whether whether the Vietnamese army taught the Chinese a lesson after they had to, move out.
Also, the Russians they taught Russia lesson that we will take care of this part of Asia. not you.
Yes, this was the main point. Yeah. So it worked in. I guess it worked in a certain way in China's favor or in the favor of the U.S. Here we
So
see
here is Kissinger.
Kissinger sitting with Deng Xiaoping. Not sure
Xiaoping.
when this was taken, but they seem to be having a nice talk. And here is this nice discussion
Present day
with Xi
happening
Jinping,
this very moment.
as
yeah?
we have seen. And it seems a little bit, if you just look at the picture and let the picture speak to you, and then compare it to the recent visit by the current Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to Beijing a while ago. You can see, if you compare the pictures, it just doesn't quite look the same.
Now Xi Jinping is the emperor sitting on his throne.
Yeah, I mean,
the
obviously,
head-
this is just one of the pictures from the meetings, one seating arrangement, but it just doesn't look good right here. Xi Jinping is sitting at the head of the table, and Blinken is sitting here, sort of has to turn to him to speak to him, to listen to him. They have a nice painting in the background, but still, you can kind of guess what kind of a message this is sending.
Yeah, they say the Chinese are very skilled in shaping the narrative and optics, during these meetings. But
So it's a good
but
way to
this
put
is
it.
there is no skill. Any asshole can do something like this. It's arrogant,
Yeah. It's
impoliteness.
It also
There's no skill.
doesn't
It's
show, it's not very tactful, doesn't show a lot of goodwill. Well,
Yeah, they are showing contempt. They're like this is what we think of you. We are not equal.
yeah,
But-
yeah, in a way it does.
But what do they do? Do they really want
Feel
to
like
cooperate, or to just keep playing these little games? And basically, America is trying to meet with the Chinese diplomats, but Chinese diplomats keep saying they don't want to work with us. Why they are refusing?
That's the real kick there. That's the irony. That's
This is
the
the message.
hypocrisy.
To the outside, while showing off this arrogant behavior actually shows Chinese people that we have the upper hand.
Right.
We are in charge. We will decide when we want to resume the relationship but it's not true. They do want it. They talk about it in English.
Course.
While in Chinese they say they have this different message to its people and different message outside. Outside they say we are the victims. They are hurting us. Why? And inside of China the message is like, no, we don't need them. We are strong. They want to talk with us, but we will decide when and under what circumstances we talk with them.
So you kind of try to use these kinds of pictures to to kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, but this is not diplomacy. This is just a wolf warrior diplomacy.
It's kind of what you can expect from North Korea, these kinds of things.
Blinken was the only one who Xi Jinping met. The
Right.
only actual American politician he met.
Yeah.
He didn't meet anybody else.
I mean, just compare it to here. Here is Kissinger sitting with Zhou Enlai, having a good
Yes.
talk. The optics are quite different. Yeah,
Very different.
And-
Because you know why? You know what? Sorry.
they need
Because that time
one another.
China needed America. China needed American help, and they were very grateful at time.
And keep in mind,
But right
this is an official visit. Kissinger was the Secretary of State at that time.
Yeah, the same position like Blinken.
Yes.
Yes. But right now, what China wants from America is to decline. China wants the worst for America. China doesn't want even American help. China wants America to become worse. So this is the difference. China is a full enemy.
I mean, yeah. Here we can compare it. Here he is. Kissinger is meeting with the current. Here we had Zhou Enlai, one of the top Chinese diplomats at that time. Here
Right.
we have Wang Yi.
Premier. There was Zhou Enlai was like a Chinese premier.
True,
And Wang Yi is
true.
not even Minister of Foreign Affairs. So where is Qin Gang, the Minister of Foreign Affairs?
Yes,
He's missing.
that's a good question. Why is Wang Yi here? Because nobody has really seen Qin Gang for
Yeah,
a
replace
few
Wang
days,
Yi.
right?
Yeah, in was it in March? Yeah, but he's been missing for 3 weeks, and finally, after like 2 weeks, Chinese foreign minister spokesman confirmed that Qin Gang is ill.
I
Yeah.
hope
While
he gets better soon.
what is interesting, that China allows on the internet to spread this information that Qin Gang has had this extramarital affair with the TV Phoenix TV journalist, and probably she just gave birth to his child in America.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I wanted to ask you, is that the reason why he's sick? But never mind.
Yeah.
No, obviously there's something we don't know about what is going on with Chinga.
Yeah, we don't know
We
for
will
sure.
find out later, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, if let's see, if the
China.
government does allow these kinds of well, we could call them rumors, yeah, to be spread around
China
you,
allows the rumors.
then it's
Yeah, so it
obviously it's not good. Otherwise, China might work very hard to stop rumors, right?
Yes. China frowns upon these extramarital affairs. Chinese politicians are not allowed to have lovers officially, or divorce their wives or anything like that.
Yes, because
So-
it's not seen as good, but you know
Good
how a
example.
lot of them might behave.
Yeah. all of them.
In secret. Let's put it that way.
Yes, definitely.
I mean, you remember how what they used to say about Chairman Mao, that great chairman, you know,
Oh.
jokingly was also great in bed. Yeah, so when Kissinger arrived to meet him, you know, to set up to prepare the official visit, you know, trying to ask him some serious questions. Apparently Mao would interrupt him with things like, you know, but how do you get so many girls? Right? And
Oh,
then
no.
thinking, well, actually we have too many in China. Maybe we can send you some to the United
Yeah,
States.
but how many? He offered something like 10,000, and when Kissinger didn't look very amused about this offer,
Yeah.
Mao kept coming back.
Yeah. Maybe
It just keeps-
maybe I should offer more.
No, this is a true story. He said, China can deliver 10 million women to the USA.
Wow.
It's kind of like a kickstart the bilateral trade.
This is sickening. But it reminds me of, you know, how Chinese emperors in the past, how they used to send princesses, you know, to sort of bribe the other leaders around the area, you know, to not be attacking them or to have better relations with them, whatever. Yeah, disgusting. But and what happened eventually? You know, a lot of girls from China were adopted. You know, I mean, China misses them now, but yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
can see
so-
here. Look at this picture and compare the next one. Wow. Xi Jinping is, you know, smiling from ear to ear. He must be so happy that Kissinger is still around at 100 years of age, and that he can meet someone that Chairman Mao has met with as well. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
you know,
sees
this
himself.
shows that, you
Chairman.
know, I guess I'm equally important. Yeah.
Yes. Must feel great. Yeah.
So yeah.
So
looks so nice and cordial, but you know, I mean, if we look at the kind of statements that China and Xi Jinping himself has put out a few years ago, this was about 2 years ago, I think. You know, it doesn't
Yes.
doesn't look so nice and cordial.
there was 100 years of anniversary of the founding of the
Chinese Communist Party, yeah.
Helicopters playing Chinese anthem.
Yeah, the Chinese people will not allow foreigners to, you know, basically do bad
也
things to us.
绝不允许任何
Foreign
外来势力
forces to
欺负
bully, oppress, or
压
enslave
迫
us.
奴役我们。
Who is going to
He can,
enslave
and
them?
you know, he kind of does look a little
谁
angry.
妄想这样干，必将在14多亿
They
中
will
国
have
人
their
民
heads bashed.
Yeah, and I mean, who's threatening China?
This is the rhetoric they use when they talk to the domestic audience. We will kill them, we will bash them, we will protect you because the foreign forces are conspiring against China all the time. They want to undermine China. That's the message.
It's threatening you. Okay, I understand. You know, it's not nice. You know, when you can't import chips, which wasn't good. Such a big issue.
Or
back
which-
then. Or
which
when you
would
can't
be-
import products, but they're not. You know, threatening you with missiles. No, it's
Leader
Yung
of the country is talking
铸
about
成的
bashing
钢铁长
heads bloody against the wall
破血流，
of the foreign forces. And look, people are so happy.
a good
Where's our-
speech. Yeah,
Oh,
what a good speech.
wonderful. Very strong leader.
The pioneers.
You know what's interesting is always the Chinese Communist Party always hides behind the people. They say 1.4 billion people. You go first. We will follow.
You've heard the feelings of the Chinese people, you know, that yeah, the party has in many instances been hurting, you know, for a while now. Where you know, in such harsh language, where are the good old times? You know, here we see Joe and Lagan feeding Kissinger, you know, showing him how to use chopsticks, and probably
Yes,
I can
probably.
imagine probably grabbing something from one of the central plates, putting it on Kissinger's plate. You know, here, try this one too. Yeah.
Yeah, swallow. Swallow, Henry. Don't hold it in your mouth. I see you are not swallowing.
Or this one where they are, you know, doing gambe bottoms up with some
Oh, yeah,
probably
they're like talking
Maotai. Yeah.
Welcoming friends with fine wine, but we are talking about alcohol and Chinese alcohol. That's fine wine.
And you know, it's usually Maotai at these official events and receptions because
What
when the,
else?
when the Red Army
What
was camping in Guizhou, around that area, you know, they would find at the distillery, and they you know, Chairman Mao remembers very fondly the days when they were camping there. That's how the story goes. So after
Drink
founding the
every
PRC, yeah, he would name it the
Uh-huh.
official Chinese state
Uh-huh.
drink. Well, so yeah, we see, you know, China trying to bring old friends back, but is this going to translate into, you know, more cordial relations on the official level? Because so far
I don't think so.
we haven't seen that, you know, so we really don't know what to expect next.
Every time Kissinger arrives from China, he informs briefly the American Secretary of Foreign Affairs, but so he will come back and he will say, yeah, we need to cooperate more, and that's it. What else he's going to, what kind of message he's going to bring with him?
I don't know. He needs to tell Blinken, you know, to brush up on his chopsticks and practice drinking Maotai. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
he
that's-
was-
yeah. All jokes aside, you know, it's not looking positively when China, you know, I don't want to say ignores these official level visits, but doesn't makes the private visits, the visits of private citizens, you know, seem more cordial than the official visits.
Yeah.
So
Nothing
I
new.
mean, let's see. You know, I mean, you know how it goes when when private U.S. citizens, you know, or in private capacity, visit certain parts of China, like Taiwan.
Yeah.
So you know, the Chinese reaction is very different. But
What is-
let's discuss that a little bit later.
Yeah, let's discuss it after Kissinger finishes his wonderful 100 trip in China
Right.
and you
Yeah.
know, hopefully arrives home safe.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
And okay, do you want to say anything else, or shall
No,
we
I think
finish
we
up?
summed up everything
All right.
pretty well. Yeah.
I can't think of anything else either. Well then, take care, and I'll see you next time.
See you next time, Tito.
Take care, Trabant. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.